What's going on, fam? This is Dr. Jali coming to you from a very, very long break. Obviously, I'm very colorful today, rocking the floral hat and the patterned sweatshirt and the blue eyelids and the bright pink lipstick, and I don't know what's happening with my blush here. Part of what's happening is I'm so colorful on the outside because I haven't been feeling so colorful on the inside. And there's a very good reason for that. To be quite honest, I've been dealing with a lot of burnout. There's been a lot of things that have happened for me in a very short amount of time. Most of them very good, but either way, there's a lot of transition and adjusting and getting used to things, and as soon as you get one thing under wraps, something else comes. So there's been no real meaningful rest for me, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's really left me feeling pretty unmotivated to do anything. And then on top of that, unmotivated, but understanding what a blessing it has been for me to have so many opportunities. I'm in a new school. I have clients now. I have a lot of clients now, which means my schedule is always full. I'm working on a couple of projects that I hope to be able to share in the next few months. And it's a lot, and it's a lot of good things, but all I can think about is how tired I am. And then that makes me feel really guilty because I know I should be so grateful and so happy. So I've been on this cycle of kind of extreme ups and downs from a day-to-day basis, being really happy when things are working out for me, and then being just really tired and exhausted when it's too much to handle. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm burned out. I recognize all the signs of burnout in myself, and I decided to do something about it. Some of the signs of burnout that I've been experiencing are fatigue and just always being tired, highly unmotivated, irritated or easily irritated, lack of sleep or lack of restful sleep. I've been getting sick-ish a lot, so it hasn't like brought me down to where I can't function, but I get little colds here and there. I'm always congested. There's always something going on in my body. All of these are signs that I'm worn down and I need a break. How do you take a break when you can't take a break, right? Like, you know you need to slow down and stop, but you don't have the time to do it. You can't just call out. You can't just stop what you're doing. If you're a parent, you can't just stop being a parent. If you're a spouse, you can't just stop being a spouse. You can't just stop where you are. But there are things that you can do to recover from the burnout. And I have to be honest that as a helper, one of my biggest downfalls is giving advice or recommending strategies and things that my clients and their parents and my coworkers and colleagues and whomever else can do, but not actually applying it to my own life, which is probably how I ended up burned out in the first place. So the first thing I'm doing is putting myself on a diet. Not that kind of diet. I'm not changing my eating habits just yet, but I am taking a break from social media. For me, a social media break had to entail completely uninstalling all my apps. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anything that I would be inundated with someone else's or other people's thoughts, ideas, and opinions and experiences at a rate that I couldn't control. Social media is a great place to be connected to people, but any information that you receive, your brain automatically processes it. And that's taking away energy that you could be using for something more productive or on yourself to rest. How are you spending energy just scrolling? Well, your brain is processing the information that you're getting when you read a post, when you read a meme, anything that comes to mind, because your brain has to say, hey, what is this? Is this important enough for me to give energy to? And even if you decide that it's not important enough for you to give the energy, your brain has already spent some figuring it out. So for the next week or more, I'm not going to be on Instagram. I'm not going to be on any of my social media platforms. After this week is over, next week I'll be adding TV to my digital detox or my digital diet. I find that since I've been working from home more, a lot of my work entails just writing reports, writing emails, writing documents, sending things, corresponding, kind of really mundane tasks. And since I'm home, guess what happens? That TV goes on. Once again, I'm being inundated by someone else's ideals, thoughts, and experiences. My brain is processing things and spending energy on things that are not necessarily helpful or necessary to what I need in that moment. After that, I'm going to be going on a fast. I am a Christian. Fasting is something that is important to me. It's something that I believe God has called us to do, especially to stay connected to Him. The thing is, fasting takes discipline. It takes mental discipline. It takes spiritual discipline. I'm going to be focusing and more intentional on reading my Bible, more intentional in my prayer life, being more intentional in my conversations and the things that I entertain, the music that I'm listening to, the books that I read. All of those things are going to be taken into consideration, and I'm going to be more intentional about my overall diet. If you don't believe in all that, that's cool, but there is something to be said for disciplining your body. And then finally, I'm going to go on a meat detox where I'm not going to be eating any type of red meat, seafood, chicken, poultry, anything. It's all going to be fruits, vegetables, and grains, and some dairy. I'm also going to be cutting out as much sweets and sugar as possible. And it's a way of, again, conditioning myself and conditioning my body and getting it back to a place where I feel comfortable. To be honest, I'm not even that comfortable with my body. I gained about 5 pounds during COVID. The plan was to lose 10 pounds. The bottom line is I'm just not that comfortable with where my body is headed. I'm going to discipline myself to get it back to a place where I'm comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable in your own skin, then you are absolutely setting yourself up to be burned out. Which brings me to my appearance today. I haven't really worn makeup in the last few months. I haven't really been going anywhere. I haven't really had any appointments or reasons to wear makeup, so I haven't. And to be honest, I've been pretty ashy and scratchy and looking like I just rolled up out the bed, because who's gonna check me, boo? But the problem with that is that's how I started to see myself. I'm not somebody who thinks I need makeup to look good, but I feel good when I'm wearing makeup. So yes, I'm very light bright today. I got the floral cap on. I got the super busy sweatshirt. I got the light blue eyeliner. I got the bright pink lipstick. All of that is happening. Why? Because I just feel good with it on. And these are one of the steps to recovery for me, because of course you want to discipline yourself and you want to rid yourself of all of the toxins that you've been putting into your mind, soul, and spirit and body, but you also still want to get back to the things that you enjoy. A friend of mine asked me what I'm going to be doing during my digital detox. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be praying. I'm going to be reading my Bible. I'm going to be working out. I'm going to be crocheting. I've been working on a blanket for my nephew for like 8 months. Baby's birthday came and went. Blanket is still sitting in the corner. I'm going to finish that baby's blanket. I'm going to focus on taking care of me, keeping my hair moisturized, keeping my body moisturized. Y'all, I'm telling you, struggle has been real. Burnout has been a thing, okay? So I am all for rediscovering all of the things that make me me. I definitely wanted to document this because I hope that my burnout recovery helps someone else deal with their burnout, whether you're approaching it, whether you're going through it, whether you've come out of it, whether you're good and just want to be prepared down the line. You know, we live in a time where you're just stuck a lot of the time. You're stuck in the house. There's a lot of things that we want to be happening and it can't happen because there's a global pandemic. Still, almost a year, we're still in a pandemic. And I know it can be really, really hard to deal with. My hope for you is that you realize and remember that there is hope. And even if you can't just stop everything, There are things that are in your control. There are things that you can do. There are things that I can do. And honestly, that probably added to my burnout because I'm a helper. I help other people avoid getting into this position, and still I ended up here. So I do hope you understand it's not easy for anybody. Everybody's going through something, but there's hope and there's a way. So I'll be back in to check with you guys soon. Bye.